Hello, Ed family. I know when you look at yourself, maybe you don't feel like a superhero, but to your students, you are larger than life. When I talk to many teachers, they are so interesting, and there's a place to share some of those interests in the classroom. I know a teacher who on Monday takes a moment to share about her weekend. This can include her family, her pet dog, cultural events happening in the community. I know this teacher has impacted many lives of her students, and so they've invited her to family events like quinceañeras and other special celebrations. And of course, she asks her students to share in her class as well. And because I get to rub shoulders with so many of these great folks, I also personally benefit a lot. For example, a fellow teacher who's a friend of mine was one of the friends that encouraged me to get into mountain biking about 10 years ago. And at that time, I just felt so busy in my life that I didn't have any room to do that kind of hobby. I'm so glad I listened to the advice of my friends. I wouldn't have done it on my own. Now it's become a hobby that I not only enjoy, but it's very healthy for me in so many ways. A reminder that we are better together. So how does this connect to students? Well, on Mondays, I also regularly like to begin class with Tell Me Something Good, where I share something good about what's happened over the weekend, and also students share with one another and with me something good that happened to them. So this upcoming week, I actually have a special something good for my students. I'm going to share a little bit about my hobby, mountain biking. And while writing, I shared a special message just for them in the video. Now this mountain biking ride is taken from some footage from my latest mountain biking ride. On the 20th anniversary, wedding anniversary last month, my wife actually gifted me with this Insta360 camera, and it just arrived. And so this is actually my inaugural footage with this camera. So most of this video is on with me on my mountain bike, stopping at various points to say something to my students about resilience and likening mountain biking journey, the mountain biking journey to their own work as they complete modules in this course. So if you're curious about that, watch on, but if not, the remainder of the video is the ride itself. Are there any stories you tell to connect with your students? Please do share in the comments. And if every now and then you'd like me to share a thought while on a journey somewhere using my Insta360, please let me know in the comments. So on with the ride. Here we are, Nick's Nature Center, coming on in. And here we go. So I'm at the Nick Center and just starting right off, a little bit of an uphill. Oh. All right, time to mountain hike. Here we go. You know, my world history scholars, a big part of resilience is not giving up. So this trail allows some pretty cool downhill single track. At the same time, there's like these uphills and I'm definitely not able to ride up them. So I call this mountain hiking.
Of course, you want to be careful taking the breaks when you need to. And I'll definitely take a break at the top. But at the same time, doing your best. And each leg of the race, even though it's kind of tough, part of me just wants to turn back around, just moving on step by step. It's like that for mountain biking, but also like that sometimes in life, in our story of resilience. Check this out. There's this YouTuber called The Outsider, and when he reaches a place like this where there's just a beautiful view, he'll sometimes call it an appreciation station and kind of go like this, right? Spots like this, man, it's good to take that deep breath in, deep breath out, and think, wow, I mean, I came from all the way down there, and now I'm up here. It wasn't an easy road up. Sometimes it was just step by step. I was just crawling up this hill. But wow, I look back and think, man, I've come a long way. And sometimes it's like that at the end of a module. That's why I like to have a little Selah moment, or a moment to catch your breath, reflect and refresh yourself, and just think and be proud of yourself and think, wow, I worked so hard. You worked step by step. You didn't give up. You took it one step at a time, and look how far you've come. And you know, here I'm by myself, but if you were with other people, like other people on the journey, your story of resilience, let's say, or the Fall of Rome Google Slides that you were working on, you can look at your partners and thank them for encouraging you, for having been able to journey this far on this road. Yeah, just take a moment to reflect. And I like to do that at the end of my modules. It's the end of my project, a moment of reflection. Reflecting about our peers, reflecting about how we grew in our skills, reflecting about our work, and having a time to affirm ourselves and one another.
You know, these are some of my favorite spots. This is called Serrano Hill. And Serrano in Spanish, I believe, means serrated. So the hills go up and they go down and then back up. And I feel like that's like our class, where we have the opportunity to check and connect with each other. Sometimes we meet together and it feels like, yes, we got the next step, right? And then we get to it and it gets a little bit tough. So what you do is you meet with one another, or you meet with me at the next class, and then boom, we get motivated again, and then we get to the next step. And this checking and connecting with one another, so important to encourage us on the journey.
Well, I just finished my ride, and man, so glad that I went. I mean, there were some tough moments, but man, I feel stronger for it. And if I were to ever go on another ride again, or go on another ride for the future, this ride helped me to be a little bit stronger for the next one ahead. So